Welcome to the second episode of Padhai Ki Charcha. I'm Akash Sethi, and this series is part of the Learning Curve, an Intel initiative supported by the Times of India. Through these conversations, we explore how technology, especially AI-enabled PCs, can empower students, support teachers, and reassure parents. In our first episode, Pranav Kothari discussed how technology is redefining the role of teachers. Today, we look at how self-learning and future skills can transform classrooms and careers. My guest for today has been at the forefront of this shift for over 2 decades. Under his leadership, Quest Alliance has empowered 1.6 million learners and trained 32,000 teachers, driving AI and STEM adoption across 28 states and 8 union territories. Please welcome Ashoka Fellow, Asia 21 leader, and the driving force behind Quest Alliance, Akash Sethi. Akash, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot for having me and really looking forward to the chat.
Akash, your story is a reminder that personal setbacks can ignite powerful change. You've shared how failing class 9 reshaped your perspective on learning, pushing you to explore self-learning and unconventional paths. For many students, failure feels like an end. For you, it became a beginning. How did these early experiences influence your vision for Quest Alliance, a vision that promotes self-learning, future-ready skills, and ethical use of technology while scaling impact to millions?
So yeah, I think when I was, in my school and specifically like you mentioned the ninth standard and, what I realized when I failed my ninth class that oftentimes, success is defined as passing exams and being able to, memorize all the different curriculum. And I think that really gave me the confidence saying that I can learn better outside the classroom if I have the intrinsic motivation to learn. And I realized that the education system does not really promote that kind of self-driven education. How many of us actually have a choice to decide what we want to learn and how we want to learn it? I was saying that the focus of Quest Alliance became that, we want learners to set their own goals. We want them to find a way to reach their goals. And we realize that technology can be a really enabling factor to help learners discover how they can reach their goals, whether it is through learning the skills at their own pace and time, whether it is getting access to network of peers or mentors. So technology acts as a real enabler and a backbone to really help you reach your goals as long as you are clear about what you really want to do. And so I think Quest Alliance has been working in that field of providing that self-driven learning environment to millions of young people in the country.
Akash, you spoke about technology being an enabler for students and teachers today. A nationwide survey led by Intel and supported by the Times of India revealed that 57% of parents fear AI might distract or inhibit thinking. Now, from your experience, how can technology enhance learning while keeping student growth central, supporting teachers to educate better, and then also reassuring parents about safety?
I think it's a two-pronged problem. I think one is, learners sometimes fear teachers a lot, right? And to be able to ask questions. Sometimes students have the fear of asking questions in the classroom. What we found is that technology actually reduces the fear students have from asking questions to technology, because technology is not judging you. It is not, labeling you as, say, a weak student, and it is able to actually just give you the space, a non-judgmental space to learn at your own pace and time, which I feel is one of the biggest advantages of what technology actually does for the learner, is to reduce the fear of learning. And that is something that teachers actually don't provide, that have not been able to provide that at a certain scale. I think the other factor is really students are really concerned about their future. They don't know what their future is going to be. It is really uncertain, and they don't have all the ideas about where will I go next. And I think what we found through our own surveys, when we actually teach AI, when we actually teach computational thinking, students get a little more confident about their ability to navigate the future, and to be able to say, however the future is changing, if I have the knowledge and awareness about some of the new technologies, that will help me navigate whatever future comes. And it is that overcoming of the fear around the future that again is critical for a young person to be ready for anything that comes their way, because we don't know what the future will be 5 years from now. All we can do is prepare young people for uncertainty, how to deal with their anxieties, how to be more positive and optimistic and hopeful. So these are the skills that actually are going to be much more critical for young people to navigate their future.
Well, talking about future and the fear that comes along with it, you often say future readiness is about mindset, not just coding. Now, for parents and students, what does this mindset look like in action, and how can they actually start small?
I think for teachers, oftentimes when, the computer also came in the early parts, and, when computer was trying to be introduced in the classroom, there was a fear that computers will replace the teacher. So this idea that, the teacher's role is going to be continuously changing when new technologies come is a given. What I would tell teachers is to be a little more of a learner than a teacher, which means, are you learning about AI? Are you able to tinker with how you can use AI to be a better teacher? It means that you need to be ahead of the curve in learning. So that's one thing I would tell teachers, that tinker around, be more playful, be a learner, be curious, as opposed to have the fear of technology replacing you. To parents, I think the idea is to really have, they have fairly focused, sorry, they have a lot of concerns about safety, and I think those concerns are very real, that what happens if there are the wrong kind of networks, there are the wrong kind of uh, knowledge that gets accessible, etc. And so what we've learned is really for parents to also have conversations about safety and security on the internet with students, to be able to share and share their own experiences about their digital life with the students or with their children. And to those small conversations go a long way in ensuring that they don't feel that technology is here to be completely unsafe, but to share their wisdom about using technology with the learners or with the students or with their children. That goes a long way.
All right, so Akash, you spoke about innovations. Intel's partnership with OEMs has shown how collaborations can rapidly scale innovations and keep them relevant in this fast changing AI landscape. Similarly, Quest Alliance's collaborations across 28 states and 8 union territories, along with your Quest app and XR Labs, have reached millions. How do these partnerships ensure that AI led innovations continue to stay impactful for learners and educators?
I think it's really important to understand that a lot of AI-led innovation should really speak to the problem that the learners are facing, and what are the current challenges when it comes to education and learning. So one of the key problems that learners face today is that learning is not personalized, and learning is very, as we call it, catalog based learning, right? That you have It's almost like learning from the textbooks. And I think the shift needs to be that, you know, this personalized learning needs to be introduced, where learners, it's almost like a Google Maps for learners, right? You can set your own goal, where you want to reach, and then you need to get your own personalized path on how will you get there, what kind of subjects you need to study, what kind of skills you need to develop, what kind of internships you need to do. Every learner has their own learning path that is specially crafted for them. So when we design this kind of learning experience for our learners, we realize that, you know, the only way to scale this is to really partner with various state governments, various educational institutions, and take this idea to more people. And what we realized is that the teachers are the best champions for this new kind of learning, as long as they are also believing in that. So we invest a lot in, you know, teacher education, for teachers to experience AI powered personalized learning. We also show the progress that learners are making to, you know, learners themselves, but also to the education departments, the teachers, so that they can pay attention to those learners that need, you know, differentiated support, and the kind of, you know, nudging that sometimes is needed to get learners more engaged in the learning experience. So partnerships has really allowed us to, you know, like you said, take our model to more than 2.5 million learners. But a lot of that has happened through active teacher education, and also parents being able to see the impact of that in the lives of children as well.
Akash, Intel's vision is to transform India's education landscape by bridging the digital divide, not just by providing technology, but reimagining the PC as an essential learning companion rather than a distraction. Now, the learning curve embodies this thought leadership, showcasing how AI enabled PCs can empower students to unlock their potential, support teachers in delivering impactful learning, and reassure parents about safety in the AI age. What would you say to parents and educators still hesitant about technology? And what one piece of advice would you give educators starting with AI?
I think, you know, one interesting thing I heard in a recent interaction which I had with learners and educators. Learners, teachers said we will use AI to, you know, make our assignments and our, what kind of assignments to give learners. And learners said we'll use AI to, you know, do our assignments. So it almost felt like, you know, the teachers and the learners both wanted to use AI to get the work done. I think what is going to be critical is for learners and teachers as well. Actually, if your thing is what is the advice for teachers to be able to use AI to, you know, help them do things which they need to do at a faster pace. So if they need to, you know, think about set how do I set lesson plans, how do I make learning more interesting, more engaging in the classroom. If I'm teaching a certain subject, then how does that become more engaging for the learner, to really get a lot of prompts about learner engagement. Because, you know, the biggest thing that is a challenge is the attention span of learners, and to be able to engage diverse learners is a challenge. So for teachers, it would be, you know, get AI to help improve the learner engagement in classrooms, to teach subjects in interesting ways. That would definitely be one of the, you know, suggestions for teachers. I think when it comes to parents, I think really have safety and security as an important part, but let it not be limiting the learners to learn what they want to learn. So have the right safety security protocols, but at the same time, having the freedom for learners to learn is critical. And as you look at, not just awareness of AI, but you also need to look at how do you apply AI in improving your learning. So it's not just awareness, it's application and understanding how to apply it that's going to be critical.
Certainly, certainly. Akash, your journey from self-learner to a self-leader transforming millions of lives now captures the spirit of the learning curve. It proves that when technology is used thoughtfully, it can open doors to not just learning, but opportunity. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. To parents and educators watching, visit thelearningcurve.ai for expert insight, real stories, and tools to help your child thrive. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Padhai Ki Charcha. Until next time, stay curious, stay confident.